Is the empath arrogant, judgmental, or pretentious? Yes and no. Like with any demographic, with any individual, there are people within a subculture who are arrogant, and there are people who are not. One of the big challenges I experienced, and I'd love to know if you too experienced that, in understanding, embracing, accepting that I had this ability as an empath, which basically means I am sensitive to external energy. I have hypervigilance, if you want to call it that. Whether you consider it a paranormal power or just simply through trauma, I've developed ways to identify mood shifts, behaviors. It's actually secondary. But the reason why people think we are pretentious or arrogant is because the ability that we have is not measurable, it's not tangible. And so when we make this claim, it's like, well, who do you think you are? Yet, if somebody were to say, well, I'm a lawyer, by default, that claim, if I'm not a lawyer, that claim tells me that they are more qualified, have more experience, have more knowledge and expertise in the field of law. However, they have a degree that is a tangible metric that says, I have studied X amount of years, therefore I know more about law than you do, and that is acceptable. Whereas the empath, well, did you go to empath school? Where's your degree? How do you measure your sensitivity to prove that it's a superpower? So again, people think it's arrogant and pretentious, but it's not. Again, individually it can be, but if you are a true empath, you will have a level of humility. Your goal as an empath is to seek understanding, support, nurture, care for others rather than elevate yourself. And when we elevate ourselves, what do? We oftentimes undermine, belittle others. And that's not really the energy, the intention of the empath. Another reason why empaths can be viewed as judgmental or pretentious, borderline arrogant, is that due to our ability to sense other people's energy, due to our general levels of kindness and care and nurture and the seeking of understanding, we are emotionally intelligent because we have paid attention. We are aware of ourselves, but also of the external world. We have learned and observed. We are sensitive to shifts. We are sensitive to that which is not said. We are hypersensitive to deceit and lies. And that again makes us feel like we are judgmental, because if we hold people accountable to their poor behavior due to what I will say is a heightened morality level in the empath, we're kind, we tend to be honest, we tend to be sincere, we tend to be humble, and so our morality scale is relatively elevated, high emotional intelligence, which means it exceeds that of the average person. But again, a lawyer has a level of heightened intelligence in a specific area. An athlete, a professional athlete, has a level of spatial intelligence that the average person doesn't have. Does an athlete think he's better than everybody else in general, or does he simply understand in the field of my sport, yes, I am better than you in the field of basketball if you play in the NBA. But that doesn't mean I'm a better human being than you. It doesn't mean that I'm a better accountant, a better lover, a better parent, a better friend. It just means in this specific area, I am better than you. And therefore, if you've put in the work and you have the ability and you have the gift, if you're a musical prodigy, own it. Odds are you've put in the work, own it. But when the empath owns their ability through of hypersensitivity and acute awareness and the ability to read people, that's viewed as arrogant. No, we are simply acknowledging in this field right here, I excel. This is my zone of genius right here, which doesn't make me better than you. However, in this specific field, I might be better than you. But in everything else, you might be better than me. Every human being has their own zone of genius. And owning your zone of genius does not make you arrogant or pretentious. And the last part about the empath, why we might be viewed as arrogant and pretentious, is that yes, we will hold people accountable. We do tend to hold a social morality mirror up to darkness and evil, to the narcissist, to the bully, to the sociopath, to the cliche A-type personality who wants to dominate and claim the attention, advantage takers, manipulators. We hold a mirror because we see them. We hold them accountable. We let them know, hey, you're out of line. And I see that when the rest of the world maybe doesn't see it. And that level of friction, that level of dislike that they feel naked and exposed, they want to undermine us, they want to belittle us. So anybody who's not an empath is going to undermine our ability to see through their veil. So they will call us pretentious and arrogant. If you are an empath, own the gift. What we have, again, this thing that we have right here is a superpower when you learn to embrace it. And I struggled to embrace and own that I have this ability. I felt guilt and shame. First of all, I didn't understand it initially, but once I understood it and I embraced it, I felt guilt and shame to make this claim that I'm an empath. So if you are an empath, own it, embrace it. It's a part of who you are. We don't need to live in shame and guilt of this ability that we have of hypersensitivity. And while you own it, of course, do remain humble, because the objective of the empath is never to bully anybody into submission through our greatness because we think we are better than others. No. If anything, we are here to nurture, support, care, help others heal, help others grow. I find that a very noble cause. If you view that as arrogant, owning your superpower, then this video was not for you. But again, if you're an empath, own it, use it to make the world a better place. My name is Vital Germain. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like and/or subscribe.